some essential oils.
Yeah. I normally don't have the allergies. My husband gets them horrible. I normally don't get them, but all of a sudden today it was really bad. Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you.
You.
So Jamie and I were just chatting a little bit, and then I looked over what you kind of wrote when you filled out the application for the call. But why don't you just tell me a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you signed up as a coach?
Sure. So I'm almost 29. I'm 28, turning 29 in a few months. I'm a full-time special education teacher. Jamie and I actually know each other because she was my supervisor at my second teaching job. And so now I teach full-time in a high school in Glen Ellen. I struggled a lot when I was growing up with a lot of like depression issues, self-worth, and a lot of like sexual abuse. And so I developed, it was on the verge of anorexia when I was in high school. And then when I healed from all of that, I gained more weight back than what I was when I had stopped eating. And then when I went to college, I was very dedicated and I dropped everything. And then, so it's always been an issue, the self-image and the self-worth. And it's always been something that I've been obsessed with as I was growing up. And then as I found my faith, everything, kind of settled down, and it's been a big part of my life, which has helped a lot with the self-worth issues. And then when I also had hip surgery in 2015, and so the hip surgery really set me back from exercising and losing weight and being healthy. And so after that, I joined the gym, and the gym did absolutely nothing for me. I paid for personal training sessions, and I was, researching all these diets, and I went to Jamie, and I started crying because I was so frustrated. I was so frustrated the fact that I was putting in all of this money. I felt terrible about myself. I felt like I looked awful. All I wanted to do was get back to where I was. And she said, Allison, I told you this before. Why have you not joined Beachbody? And I finally was like, you know what, you're right. And so I finally, after her telling me numerous times that, it was worth it, that I needed to sign up and try it out, in 2017, I think, 2016, I don't remember. I finally joined, and I started with Shaun T, and everything was going well, but I still wasn't following the container, so I really wasn't seeing a lot of results. But I was drinking Shakeology every day that I could afford, and but I still wasn't following any of the containers. And Jamie, she was still on me. You need to do this. You're going to see results when this happens. And it took me a while, but I finally was like, you know what, you're right. You were right the first time. You're going to be right the second time. And then after I followed the containers, I lost about 25 pounds. I went from 150, now I'm like 124. And I was just shocked. I was so proud of myself. And I think it was last year. So because of my mental health issues and my self-worth, I knew what you need to do, and I knew that you can totally come out of it. And so I was like, you know what, I want to help other people. I want to be able to help people get to where they can be, really be able to see their potential. Because Jamie never gave up on me, and I don't want to give up on anybody. I want to be able to help others who don't really know what to do to help themselves. And so I want to be that inspiration and that motivation for others. I also know that the business can be a huge, huge financial relief, and it can be something that can sustain me, because being a special education teacher is not what I want to be for the rest of my life. And I do not want to live every day coming home stressed. I don't want yeah, I just don't want that. And so I know that the business can, I wanted to, because I don't have kids yet, but I want kids. And I want to be able to, I don't want anybody to raise my kids. I want myself to raise my kids. And so that's another huge motivation for me to do well with the business. So that's why I am where I am today. And it's a little bit about where I want to be.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. So here's the first question. So what you just shared with me is, did you join in 2017 as a coach or as a customer?
A customer. I think it was in the beginning, like January 2018, that I became a coach.
And what program was it that you did do with the containers?
80-day obsession.
Okay. At the beginning of this year. Okay.
Yeah. I started 80-day obsession in January.
And that's where you lost the weight, is just really following the meal plan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then being consistent with the schedule. I didn't ever miss a workout.
Yeah. But you said that you did the workouts in Shakeology and you weren't seeing results. Was that 80-day obsession or was that a different program?
No, that was Insanity.
Oh, that was Insanity. Okay. So it could be that too. It could be like the type of program that your body needed.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I definitely got stronger. My cardio got a lot better. But as in terms of like dropping inches, it was 80-day obsession and the containers that did it.
Okay. So the first thing is that I took 2 pages of notes, and this is your story.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have your story, what you just shared with me, do you have that out there on social?
I have it on my coach page.
On your what?
My coach page. And then I have it, I posted it on Instagram. But it's long. And so like my coach page, it didn't accept how long it was, so I had to shorten it. But
so what I mean by on social is like in general, when you create all your content, for like on Instagram, you're posting like, 4 different things and you're kind of just rotating them, right? And then on Facebook, it's more so like long posts. So everything is going to be built off of your story and your testimonial. The reason that people are going to say yes to a challenge group, the reason they're going to say yes to becoming a coach is going to be from your testimonial, whether that is a testimonial that they see or read or watch on social media, or if it's the words coming out of your mouth, like Jamie was talking to you in person, But your story is really what gets people over the hump to think, wow, if she can do it, maybe I can do it. Or they find pieces in your story that they connect with and they're like, oh, I went through that too. I feel like that too. And then they have those connections with you and it helps them get to a yes. So, I mean, a couple things that I would be doing is, and these are all ideas, so you can take which ones you want and whatnot. I haven't looked at your Facebook or your Instagram, so I don't know what they look like. But number one, like I would make a video, a YouTube video. Okay, let's back up. Before you make the video, you really want to clean up your story and condense it. Because in a video, you want it to be like 3 minutes, something like that. Okay. So there's a format on how to write your story in the Rock Your Network Marketing book. Do you have this?
Oh, no, not yet, but it is on my list.
Okay. So you need this. This is how you build the business. And literally there's a page in here, and Jamie can probably just take a picture of it and send it to you. But it literally breaks down like how to write your story. Here it is on page 47. So I can say it really fast if you want to write it down. So number 1, you have a pen and paper. Always come to with pen and paper on calls with me.
I know.
I could also send her a picture of it.
You want to screenshot it? Okay. But it's going to help you, give you the outline to rewrite your story and take some things out and highlight some things, right? So it breaks it down to like share your challenge before the products. Okay. And then number 2, share how you were introduced to the products. So you talked about how Jamie introduced them to you and how many times she had to keep introducing it to you. And that's really important because you're letting people know that it's okay if I talked to you about this 3 months ago and you still haven't joined. And then number 3, what product did you start on? And so that's something that you didn't say, and that's something you want to say. And then number 4 is the time frame you saw results or the immediate results. Because if it was 80 days that took you to see those long results, like what were maybe some shorter term results that you've seen pretty quick in under 30 days, even if it wasn't weight loss, if it was energy, digestion, toning, things like that, because we all know people want quick fix. And then the number 5 is share what the best part is. So share the greatest results you're achieving with your products. So that would be the hitting your goal weight. That would be that last part. The greatest part is once I actually followed the meal plan and used the simple system of the containers, I dropped 26 pounds. And how did that make you feel? And then you have a call to action at the end of your story to invite people, and what are you inviting them to? Okay. So number 1 is rewrite your story on paper. Okay. And always have a call to action at the end. And that is, the call to action should be for them to, how do they reach you? How do they connect with you? So in other words, you would say like, you can email me, you can inbox me, you can find me here. How do you want them to contact you? And then what are you inviting them to? And every time you put your story out, it could be something different. Sometimes you're inviting them to a challenge group. Sometimes you're inviting them to a sneak peek. Sometimes you're inviting them to just like your account or to follow you on Instagram. You know what I mean? But there's always a call to action, and that's kind of how you want to have your format written out. Okay. So then after you do that, number 2 is I'd make a video. Do your hair, do your makeup, like I like that wallpaper in your house right now. Is that wallpaper? That's a really cool background. Is it wallpaper? Oh no, it's drapes. Okay, so close them and it looks like wallpaper. But you want to think, in other words, you want to think about your background, because people are listening to you and they're being nosy and they're looking behind you in the camera and they're picking all the things that whatever, you know what I mean? So make a video, make it like 3 minutes. And make it for the person who doesn't know you and they're watching you for the first time. And what do you want them? How do you want them to receive you? And what do you want them to do at the end of that video? So how you would use that video, if you do it right and you really share like a lot about your story and your struggles and, then your success, when you're having conversations with people on Facebook or Instagram or whatever on social media, and you're inviting them to a challenge group or whatever, you can invite them to watch your story. So you'll, upload it to YouTube, get a link. It doesn't have to be public, but it's your own third-party tool. Because otherwise, you're constantly typing out the same story over and over. And if you can make one phenomenal video that might take some work, it's going to be worth it, because you're going to use that video over and over and over and over, and it's better than this, right? Plus, when people watch you, it's like there's a different level of trust when you watch someone on video versus just typing out your story. And then same thing with like your before and after photos. Have those accessible and share those all of the time. You're going to build trust with that. And then, if you have a blog, you could share that on a blog, but more so, you kind of want to use everything you talked about and build your content around that. So what I mean by that, for Instagram, you're talking about four to five things in rotating them. Do you have like a theme right now?
All I post are health stuff.
Like workouts? What do you mean health stuff?
Workouts, motivational stuff, food.
Okay. So one of your things could be you talking about your self-image. Okay? So it could be quotes, or it could literally be pictures of you, and then the content, like a selfie, and then the content would be talking about encouraging women through their self-image, or talking about your history with it and how you overcame it. But that's something I would be doing at least once a week, and it should be like a really good post. Like, spend time writing it. You know what I'm saying? So like self-image, I think if that's something you're passionate about, then that should be like one of your things.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is like your hook. You know what I mean by your hook? Like how you get
want to join, like what gets people want to join you?
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
I
think it's the containers, but it's not letting them know that it's the containers, right?
Yeah.
Because like for you, like that was the game-changing piece. But what about it was the game-changing piece? Like, was it cooking? Was it meal prepping every week? What bad habits did you give up? And what good habits did you bring in? And what was it about the containers? Was it that you were eating too much? You were eating the same foods, but now you're eating less? Was it that you gave up taco night and pizza night and wine night? What did you give up? What did you bring in? Like, what were all those changes? Take the containers out of it. Like, just journal yourself. Like, break it down. What was I doing before that wasn't working? And what changes did I make? Like, I started going grocery shopping every Sunday, or I stopped buying this food at the grocery store and this food and this food and this food. Or I used to go to Starbucks every single morning and now I go once a week. Or I used to have chocolate cake for dessert twice a week and now I have this chocolate dessert that I make at home. Do you see where I'm going with all this? Mm-hmm. But it has to be your journey and what all the things that you did. And so I think that is what you should be talking about. Like, one of your things, which might be, I don't know what you want to call it, but it might be how you lost the weight, finally losing the weight, finally breaking the plateau. I don't know what you want to call it, but I think that like that should be one of your 4 things on Instagram. So I'll just write food, but you'll know what I mean. But you break it down, like journal it all out on a notebook paper, and then go through and kind of like how many of those can be a post. So, give me one habit that you gave up and what did you replace it with?
Night eating. So eating before bed. And I just replaced it with dinner at 7.
Okay. So that's really good. That's a post or a video or a story.
The autumn helped me understand the importance of food and what food does for you. Not that you need it for emotional, but it's to fuel your body. And like I learned so much about nutrition in general.
Right. But most people know they shouldn't be eating late at night, but they do it anyway.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can offer that information, like you can say, the educational piece, but more so people already know that they need to do it. They just can't break the habit, or they just, so they're looking for like that magic answer. And there's no magic answer, but you're giving them what worked for you, and you're marketing it as the magic answer. Do you understand? So it's like, the post, you do a picture on Instagram, and whatever you used to eat late at night, you hold up the potato chips, and you're like, something like that. That's going to stop my scroll. And you're going to title the caption, how I broke the chips or whatever. Like, you see where I'm going? It's all marketing. And then you share your in the caption, you write the story. So how many of you have struggled with eating late at night? I have been eating late at night forever. This is why. Share. Like, for me, it's the only time I'm alone, right, Jamie? Yeah. It's the only time you're alone with kids. You're watching I'm watching my reality TV shows. My phone's off. I'm totally de-stressed, and I totally admit it. I'm eating the chips, watching The Bachelor, right? But what I found, this was one of the habits that once I broke it, it helped me lose the 26 pounds. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're going to always connect things back to your story. Here's how I did it. Here's how I did it. And give them 3 steps, or give them 5 steps. Now you can give them the 3 steps or 5 steps right there. Or here's what you can do that's better yet. You can say, click on my photo and watch my stories, and I'll show you exactly how I broke this habit and lost the 26 pounds. And so now you just drove people from your feed to your stories to watch your stories, okay? And then it can be a video, because then you can just talk about it. And now you're hitting 2 audiences, because your feed and your stories are 2 different audiences. The same people don't do both. Like, I just learned this from Sullins, which was pretty interesting. You can, and then you can talk to people on your stories, right? And share with them, here's what I did. Here's why I did it. Here's how you could do it too. PM me if you're interested in joining my next accountability group, and I'll be sharing the same meal plan that I used to lose the 26 pounds. Do you see how I'm connecting everything back to your story, to your personal story? So I think that, like, the fitness is great, and Shakeology, you have to figure out kind of like where that played into, right? But like, your big thing was the nutrition, eating, and cleaning that up. Facebook could kind of be the same way, but it would be more of like a longer post, right?
Okay.
And then you're consistently, I should say, inviting people to a challenge group. Okay. Now, what I recommend to my people is you kind of have to take the challenge group, and especially for Instagram, because Instagram's like cold leads, you have to take like the format, the program that you did. I just think that like 80-day obsession is hard, and it's 80 days. And so it's going to be like really hard to get like someone you don't know to do that program, right? Like, to say yes. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying, like, this is the statistics. So you kind of want to look at it like, so what I do is I have them fill out like an application, a challenge group application, a Google form. And I find out like if they're working out now, if they're on like a healthy journey right now. And I use the 21-day fix as more of like an introductory program. So I kind of like mirror them and say like, this one's 80 days, this one's 21 days. This one's up to 90-minute workouts, this one's 30-day workouts. I don't even talk about the timed nutrition, because it's just like, it's too much. So that's something you can think about, is when you're sharing your story or sharing your journey, you can, if you say 80-day obsession, and you can say, and we even have an introductory program that's only 21 days. that you can, start off and try and follow the same principles. Okay. And then you can take it even a step further and run either a clean week group which is $29, right? Or you can even run like a meal prep free group, something like that. Okay. And then, so you're doing all of this on social media, and then you have to have a place where you're inviting these people to a community that's either free, and you're doing like I said, like a meal prep group community, or you're running a clean week. And so you're letting them know, like, the program that I did was 80 days. But I have a 7-day express boot camp that's only $29. And it's a great way for you to try out my group coaching programs. You get 7 workouts digitally, you get 7 meal replacement shakes, and you get a clean eating meal plan. Okay. And so that's kind of what I would be doing. And then from there, you have them in the group, and then you want to run a phenomenal group, and then upsell them to either 21-day fix, or if they're more advanced, they can probably do 80-day session. Does that make sense? Now, there's a girl on Etsy that sells like these free challenge group guides, like they're free groups, and she has one that's called Meal Prep.
Oh, okay.
You can buy it from her, and it's like a week, and then it's a free group you would run, and she gives you everything, and you're just teaching them like meal prepping. So if you wanted to run like a free group, then she has like themed groups too, like she has a fall group and like all these different things. So that's up to you, whether you want to do like a free group or a clean week and call it something else. But I think it's just that, like, you have to get your story down and market it and get it out there to as many people as possible. And then every single person that likes your posts. So if you're posting every single day and you're rotating these 4 things, every single person that likes your post, you have to message them on Instagram and Facebook. And there's scripts, there's like verbiage that I can point over to you. But I know Jackie, what's her last name? She posted in United Coach Collaboration a while ago. And so they're under the files. Jackie Hart, Hart. And it's literally like, hey girl, thanks so much for, supporting my health and fitness post earlier today. I super appreciate it. P.S. or by the way, wanted to let you know, I actually have, boom, and you invite, I have a 7-day express boot camp coming up. Is that something that you would be interested in? Do you want more information? Okay. You have to just reach out and invite people. So it's like you have to sit down and plan out your groups and have those in place, and then plan out your content and your story and start putting that out there. And then daily, as you post on social media, then just interact and engage with your audience, and then just invite them. And warm market will be more people will join from your warm market, most likely. And cold market, it's like 1 in 30 or something, unless it's free. Huh?
What's the difference between the two, cold and warm?
Well, warm market's probably like your Facebook. That's like okay, your friends, your family, people that know you. And Instagram are complete strangers, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, you might have some people on Instagram that but for the most part, like, you're building a whole outside network. These people don't know you. And so when you go to your personal Facebook, and you're inviting people that you do know, well, those people are going to be more apt to join because they know you and they trust you. Yeah. So I have to jump off, but I want to show you, because I have a call after this, but really quick. And then if you have questions, I don't know if can answer them right now, but you can always write them down and I can always voice message you back. But I want to show you this, which I'll send. You can friend request me and then message me on Facebook. But this is like a tracker for new coaches, okay? So this is something you want to be filling out. And it's like the business activity tracker. It's just simpler. It's like 80-day obsession, but here's the 21-day fix. Do you know what I mean? So this is something that you want to be filling out like every week for yourself, but then send it to Jamie. Because now you're like, okay, I did this. So your personal development needs to be this book, and which is like $10 on Amazon. And then she has a free podcast. So I would listen to her podcast. It's called, what's it called? It's like Six Figure Club or something. Rockstar Recruiting School. It's free. And then there's a Team Beachbody podcast, which is your national wake up call. Like those would be the two that I would just focus on and listen to them in your car, listen to them when you're getting out of the shower and you're getting ready, like fit it into your already busy lifestyle. But that's going to kind of give you your training in the direction that you need to like grow this as a business. So this is your accountability. As far as like that you're doing something right with your business. And then I didn't really talk about warm market too much, but like the first thing that I have all of my new coaches do is I have them make a list of 100 names of everybody that they know and then highlight their top 10 people. Like who are the top 10 people you want to do business with? Whether they're a customer or a coach, let's reach out to them. Let's invite them this week and invite them to watch a presentation and give them something for just watching it. Because here's the thing, like the people that are closest to you, they already have your trust. They're either going to do this or they're not. So it's like just cut to the chase, invite them, just ask him for a favor. Will you watch this with me? And if you do, I'll send you a sample of Energize, Shakeology, one of the new bars, just for watching. And if it's not something that you're interested in, totally fine with that. But if you know anyone that would be interested and you point them my way, that would help me out a lot. And, maybe you give them referrals. You give people referrals. Like Amazon gift cards. They refer people to your challenge group, $10, $20 if they buy a challenge pack from you. It's worth it. And so that's one of the first things I do with my new coaches because I want their mom and their grandma and their aunt and their best friend and their coworkers. And I want everybody to watch a presentation and to know what they're doing. I don't expect those people to join. I just want them to understand what we're doing and what that new coach is doing. So we'll refer people to them.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, don't leave it up and assume that like people understand and know what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. Because that just doesn't happen. And people are too busy. They're just too busy. So.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of women at my in my office that do Beachbody. I don't know who their coach is, but is there a way that, because I see them every single day, that I feel like, because they have my trust, to switch coaches? Like, how do you go about that?
You think they want to switch coaches, or you don't know?
To invite that option.
Oh, I mean, I would just ask them, because a lot of people buy programs and they're assigned a coach and they don't think they have a coach. Like that coach has never contacted them. So if they have Insanity, and I would ask them, are you working with a coach? And if they say no, or I used to and I don't anymore, then I would say, well, I'd love to have you in my groups, and it's completely free for you to switch to me and as your coach. They send an email to customer service at teambeachbody.com. You give them your coach number, and they just request for their coach to be switched to you. You can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So just ask them. And if they're like, oh yeah, my sister's a coach and I buy it from her. Okay, awesome. You know, like, and then so many people, like, their coaches, they might buy from somebody, but like that person isn't doing anything with the business either. So it's like, don't ever discredit anybody, because like 1 out of 10 Beachbody coaches are probably doing the business, you know? So you could have all these people in your office. They might all have coaches, but none of them are building a business. So therefore they're not running groups. They're not actively connecting with their people, and they're not getting the support that they need, or they're not even being invited to the opportunity to become a discount coach or even become a regular coach. So that's all opportunity there, you know? So don't just think, oh, well, you know, they already own a product, they already have a coach, like, and cross that person off your list. No, just ask them, you know, are you working with a coach right now?
And Kristina, one other question I had to ask you, and I think that'd be good for Allison to know, how do you keep track of like the people that you're communicating with? So I know there's that one, what is it, Team Z, you do all
I don't use that. Yeah, I know. I don't. And I'm not saying like, I have a lot of coaches who love it, but you're going to laugh at me, but it's just literally like,
I knew you were going to say that.
Every day. Here's my Instagram for the past 2-3 weeks. Literally. Like, just like the people that I've talked to that have filled out my application, or I blind message them. I'll blind message people that like watch my stories on a post I'm talking about, like my boot camp. I'll just go and message all those people all the way down. So I don't have a fancy or organized, I literally just every day. And it is a lot of people that you're trying to keep track of, but I just try to funnel them either into a free group or my email. If I get them to fill out my bootcamp application, then I have their email there. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's what I use. All right. Well, it was great talking to you guys. I recorded this, so I'll send it to Jamie unless you message me, Allison, and then you can watch it back and take notes. And I'll send you that tracker too.
Perfect.
Okay?
Thanks, Kristina.
Okay.